What you are listening to now is the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 322.4. Our 10-minute recap, then John Robertson's and Michelle Garmon's reaction to the Fever's big 99-82 win over the Atlanta Dream on Friday night at the Fieldhouse.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Fever fans. Today is Saturday, July 12, 2025, and I am your host, Greg Mengelt, podcasting today from headquarters in Jeffersonville. Producer Susie is in the control room. Coming up, we have our 10-minute recap of the Fever's 99-82 victory over Atlanta, followed by John Robertson's and Michelle Garmon's thoughts on the win. John was actually at the game on a date with his wife. Before we get to that, just want to remind you that we have John Robertson's Fever Report every single week, usually with Michelle. And we've been doing some WNBA reports as well, with the All-Star game headed to Indy in a couple of weeks. We will have a full report on all of the All-Star activities with John and Michelle, as well as recaps and reactions following every game through the WNBA Finals. Your 10-minute recap begins now.
Cunningham, kick out, Mitchell, exclamation points! And Mitchell comes up with the steal, fire ahead, McDonald coast to coast.
That, of course, is the great Pat Boylan and Debbie Antonella on the FanDuel Sports Network. And as Pat told you, Kelsey Mitchell's three-pointer and her steal and assist to Ari McDonald was the nail in the Indiana Fever's 99-82 win over the visiting Atlanta Dream Friday at the Fieldhouse. The Fever played a strong second half and were superb in the fourth quarter in their 10th win of the season. The 99 points is the second most the Fever have scored all year, and they did it with 59 points in the second half, 30 of those in the fourth quarter, when they outscored Atlanta by 13 points to pull away for the win. Indiana entered the fourth with a 71-65 lead before a Caitlin Clark three-point play started a 25-12 run that gave the Fever a much-needed win after back-to-back losses to LA and Golden State. Indiana is now 10-10 through 20 games. Here's head coach Stephanie White's thoughts on the win.
I thought we were really connected on both ends. I thought our sense of urgency was better, our activity level was better, our communication, defensively. We made things as tough as we could for them. They're a great team, obviously, and offensively, our second half was much better, taking care of the ball, moving it. We had a 77% assist rate, and that's what we have to do. We've got to get the ball moving. We've got to get multiple touches. We've got to get it from one side of the floor to the other and get everybody involved, and then that's how we find success.
Indiana lost Wednesday in Clark's return against the expansion Valkyries, and things did not look great early in this one either. Atlanta led 12-4 off the jump and 23-21 at the first break. Then Jordan Canada hit 5 three-pointers in the second quarter, 3 of them in the final minute and 4 seconds to put the 12-8 Dream ahead 45-40 at the half. Canada came into the game 6 for 29 from three-point range on the season. In the first half on Friday, she was 6 for 9 and tied her career high of 25 points before halftime. She cooled off in the second, but still finished with a game-high 30 points. Kelsey Mitchell scored 8 of her team-best 25 points in the third quarter when Indiana outscored the Dream 29-20 to take a lead heading into the fourth quarter. Mitchell was 9 for 16 from the field, 3 of 7 from deep, and made all 4 of her free throws. Here she is.
When our second half was about taking them out of actions, mucking it up, making it ugly defensively, so then we can go in transition and get what we want. But I think that truly came from a standpoint of, making sure we didn't let Canada get whatever she wanted. making it tough for Ryan Howard, who's amazing, Alicia Gray, who's amazing. Their whole starting five are like all-stars, so we have to take them out of stuff to get what we want.
Sophie Cunningham had a big night for the Fever, especially in the second half, and finished with a double-double of 16 points and 10 rebounds off the bench. She knocked down a season-best 4 3-pointers. Here's Sophie after the game with the Ion studio crew of Larry Smith, Autumn Johnson, and Megan McKeon.
Just 4 threes in your last 7 games, but tonight 4 of 5. What got you into the groove tonight in this game?
Hey, you know what? It's about dang time, let me tell you. I have my shoot, it's been a second. I just think for the team, you know, we've had a lot of injuries, we've had a lot of movement. When C's playing, it's a whole different team, and when she's back, you know, we got to catch our rhythm. She's a heck of a player, but we got to find ways to get her involved but keep people hot. But you know, for me, it finally felt good. It felt good. Like I said, my family's here, my sisters, my best friends, and so it just felt good to have my family here, so I thought I should do something tonight.
Led by Cunningham's 16, Indiana's bench contributed 29 points to the win. Damaris Dantas had 7 and Ari McDonald 6. McDonald, of course, has gone back to her reserve role with Clark's return. She finished with 6 points and 3 assists, had another nice night. The Stars also had big nights for the Fever. Clark struggled from the field, going 5 for 17, but still finished with 12 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds, and was much more assertive in the second half, going to the basket, making some plays happen, including the big three-point play that started the game-winning run. Aaliyah Boston went 8 for 8 at the foul line and finished with 19 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds in her 100th career WNBA game. Natasha Howard also contributed 9 points and 7 rebounds, and her 400th and 401st career steals in the win. After the game, Clark spoke with ESPN's Alexa Philippou.
Kaylin, big bounce back win for you guys. What was working for you so well, especially in that second half offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we just played with a really great pace. I thought we moved the ball. I thought we cut hard, which opened up the three-point line for us. And then we knocked down some shots, but also I thought our defense was really good. So I think it was both sides of the ball, and kind of felt like how we should get back out there and play, you know, every single game. I think 99 points is, you know, probably the most we've put up in quite some time. I think somebody said 59 is the most scored in a second half in, you know, quite a few years now. So proud of our group. I thought we came out and competed well, especially there in the second half.
All-star Ryan Howard scored 14 points for the Dream, despite leaving the first quarter with what appeared to be a sprained knee. She was carried off the floor and came back in the second half with a knee brace, and was still pretty effective. Nice player. Brittany Griner scored 10 points and grabbed 8 rebounds. The 99 points was the Fever's best offensive output since a 102-88 blowout of the defending champion New York Liberty on June 14th. The Fever have another big nationally televised game at the Fieldhouse on Sunday against the 6-15 Dallas Wings and their star Paige Beckers. The game is on ABC. It's going to be a huge crowd and TV audience. According to TickPick.com, the get-in-the-door price is about $70, but most available tickets are north of $200. And that is your recap in 10 minutes or less. Please stay tuned for John Robertson and Michelle Garmon.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengel.
Welcome, Fever fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report and John Robertson's reaction to Friday night's 99-82 win over the Atlanta Dream and the latest version of the Fever Dream. And big win for the Fever tonight, one they really needed against a good team, and especially the second half. John, you were there. Tell us about it.
Well, the game started off kind of crazy. Atlanta was on fire. Well, listen, I don't know about Atlanta was on fire. Jordan, Canada was on fire.
Man.
Jordan, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Could not miss anything. And like every time the Fever started to like make something happen, because they went on a run to get back in it, and then the Dream just kept coming back. But the first half was a little frustrating. I don't remember what the score was at the end of the first half. Let me look real quick.
45-40.
45-40 was the Fever ahead.
No, Atlanta was ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I knew it was really close, but not. I didn't think that they were winning at halftime. But then the second half, they came out and it seemed like they figured something out in the halftime.
Guard Jordan.
Well, I mean but it really was more the offense, honestly.
Right,
like
it was.
The offense hasn't been clicking very well for a minute. And it just seemed like they figured something out that really started to work, and they all started to really make things happen together. It was a really physical game.
It was the starting lineup and Sophie Cunningham that really turned it around.
Yeah, Sophie Cunningham had an amazing game. Like, her energy out there tonight was unbelievable. And I don't want to discredit Kelsey Mitchell, because, I mean, Kelsey Mitchell was on fire also. Like, she was really popping. I mean, 25 points for Kelsey is huge. But, like, you almost... Like, 25 for Kelsey doesn't seem that shocking. I generally expect her to have 15, not surprised at all by 20, 25, good. But
right.
Yeah. Sophie, you don't normally expect to see a 16 and 10 night from her. And so she really came out fired up. She'd made some comments on social media recently where she was frustrated. She says, "We got to figure it out." Like, nothing specific towards anyone, but she wants to win. She's a fierce, fiery competitor. She wants to win. So she came out really pumped up tonight. Aaliyah Boston had 19. A great night for Aaliyah.
6 assists. Or 8 assists, 6 rebounds.
8 of 6, yes, 6 rebounds. She fouled out of the game. The last 2 fouls on Aaliyah I thought were pretty bogus. I'm not one to sit here and nitpick refs. I'm really not. It was a very physical game, and a lot of things weren't getting called, and I'm like, that's okay if you're not going to call it either way, whatever. But then, like, there was one that was definitely just like she may have laid her hand on the back of somebody as they were walking by, and they called that, like, barely touched foul. And then the last one I was like, are you kidding me? And then the one where Dantas got elbowed in the forehead and they called a foul on Dantas, that one was frustrating. It was one of those nights where you're frustrated a little, and you don't want to sit there and complain about refs, but, like, they've got to rein some of this stuff in. Some of this stuff has to start being called and stopped. They got to send a message. And it's not even just Caitlin. There was one on Caitlin that really bothered me where I think it was Canada, like, knocked Caitlin over as Caitlin was dribbling, and then she just stood over Caitlin and held her down and didn't let her get back up.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, that one really bothered me. I'm like, that's not a basketball play no matter how you look at it. And this is the kind of stuff we've got to stop allowing. That's why people are getting tired of the W.
Get it, yeah.
Anyway,
sure.
I don't want to complain.
I understand, and my philosophy with the officials is there's not much you can do.
Sure.
So I don't like to focus much on it, but I
don't.
will.
I don't either, but I'm just saying, not even a specific player, not a specific game. It's league-wide, and I mean...
Right. I understand the sentiment for sure. I'm not saying there's not reason for complaint and concern. It's just something I just don't focus on very much. I think
it's stuck in my mind more because I read Christine Brennan's book, and that's something that's focused on in the book.
And let's remind people we're going to review that book pretty soon. Look forward to that. And now we welcome in Michelle Garmon, the sports editor at the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader, to talk about tonight's Fever's 99-82 win over the Atlanta Dream. And Michelle, John and I were talking a little before you got here that offensively, especially the second half, 53 points, they started to maybe get their rhythm.
I think so. Maybe a little bit. I thought they looked better offensively at times tonight, and then there were times that, a little stagnant. I was really impressed with Sophie Cunningham tonight. I mean, she was both ends of the floor, and she's such a hustler and scrappy, and it's really kind of nice because, it's her and Lexi. I mean, they know their roles and they fill them very well.
There was a moment when I haven't seen the replay, so I don't know how it looked on camera and, like, right there when it happened. But it looked like Sophie pulled somebody down on purpose. It looked like she really just was like making a statement by saying like, all right, you guys want to play rough, let's play rough. And like that, the person landed on Sophie's head, which I would not be surprised if she has a concussion, but she finished the game out anyway.
She sounded pretty spry at the end of the game. Her post-game interview was very good, so I doubt she has a concussion. But
here's the thing, though. Fever are going to be in physical games. And part of it is because they have some physical players. Whether people want to really look at it, Caitlin Clark is a physical player. She doesn't like people to get physical with her, but she likes to play physical with them, especially on the offensive end. She's learned how to leverage her arm and her shoulder. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you can't have it. The only bad thing is you can't then complain if it happens to you when you're playing defenses a little bit. But they're a physical team.
I don't think she really starts to get mad and complain until she's not getting calls when she's getting hit in the head and stuff. Like, I think when things aren't fair, she starts to get complaining and start chirping at the refs more. It's just my interpretation.
John, I've seen her for years. I mean, I like Caitlin, but she does think she thinks she should get away with more than what she does. It's
there's not a basketball player on earth who doesn't think that.
Yeah, that's everybody. Let's all start twirling our fingers.
Every single player who ever played the game of basketball.
I'm just saying that, I don't see her get heated. I don't see her get as heated until it's starting to look lopsided. Then she gets really fiery.
I wasn't saying that she was heated. I was just saying the Fever should expect games to be physical, and she should expect games to be physical. That's her style of play on the offensive end, and that's what I'm getting at. She can't play physical in the offensive end herself and not expect teams to play physical back is what I'm saying.
I don't even think Caitlin's the one that really, I mean, it does affect her and it affects her game, and she's obviously the engine that runs the team, right? But like, really, I think that it's like Sophie Cunningham made a statement tonight. It's like, you guys want to play physical? Fine, we're going to play physical. And I think that other people started to play off of that. Aaliyah Boston was like, okay, yeah, let's go. You know, we're not getting the calls, so let's just play. And Dantas, same way. So
what I'm saying is the Fever are physical. I think they get upset sometimes, but they really need to go back and watch their own films sometimes now. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it because basketball is a contact sport. I've said that as I coach. I always used to tell my kids, basketball is a contact sport.
I know I'm biased. Like, I'm fully aware that I'm biased towards the Fever, but I do think there's a lot that happens to them. Like, okay, so let's take, like, Aaliyah Boston, definitely a physical player. She's bumping and bouncing off people, and, like, I get it. And there's other people, too, and Sophie, but, like, there's some stuff that's, like, almost to borderline dirty happening at Fever games, to Fever players, before they start getting super physical. And, yeah, I'm biased, so maybe I don't see it as much, but I'm telling you, like, there was some stuff tonight that really had me irritated.
Yeah. And as we said earlier, John, there was the turning point with the Chicago Bulls everybody talks about. And when they stopped complaining about the Pistons being too physical and started being physical back is when they started being successful.
And I think we saw that tonight. I really think that's what we saw in the second half tonight. I think that we saw the team figure out what they needed to do to get the win, which is where I want to get kind of segue to my next point is Caitlin Clark is in a shooting slump. Let's be very honest. She is in a really bad drought right now. But I think long-term it's going to be a blessing because the team is finding ways to win without that superpower logo 3 all the time. You know, it's almost one of those things like it's
best guard right now. Third best scoring guard right now in the Fever.
Well, it's fine. Like, I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying, like, mentality-wise, she's expected it for herself, and she's, like, relied on it like a crutch. Like, when they're not winning games, she's got to hit these long threes. And the team's realizing we don't need that. She's realizing we can find ways to win without it. Now, I think that it has a place, and I think there's a reason for it. Like,
sure.
When you're in the arena and she hits one of those logo threes, oh, my God, the place explodes. But, like, I think it's good for the team that they're finding that they don't need it to win. I think they need that confidence.
It's a good point.
You know, I agree on that too. And what I really like is actually, I thought, here's what I really, and I know people are going to be upset, but I thought the ball and the flow and Caitlin's passing was really good when she was playing on the wing and when not out front. I mean, McDonald and Mitchell are so much better right now at being able to create space. You know, and part of it is, I will admit, part of that is they're left-handed, and left-handed shooters have an advantage. I mean, they'll tell you they have an advantage. I mean, Bob Knight said that was one of the Calbert Cheney's biggest, blessings was being left-handed. But they can create space for that jump shot. And right now, Caitlin can't. I think part of it is I'm not so sure that she feels if she's 100% or if she feels safe in, being able to really push off or hasn't just lost a little bit of her explosiveness through this injury. But when she's facilitating, when she's from the wing, she doesn't dribble much. And I thought tonight, when the Fever stagnated at times when she was in the game, was she did too much purpose. She dribbled too much without purpose. When she dribbles with a purpose, driving, going towards the basket and not laterally and everything.
Well, she got really aggressive and when she realized her three wasn't falling, she started driving for layups.
Yes, and we need to see more of that. What she was doing in the second half was much better.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes back to my, she's not going to have to rely on that one. I call it her superpower because, who else can do it? But what she started driving, and I think that's good.
Be other players that can hit the logo threes. They're just smart enough to know that the farther out that they shoot, the less the percentage of it going in.
Yeah, but look at her up until the last few games. She normally makes them. But
she's a streak out there because I've seen games. Part of it is
I think right now she's just out of rhythm.
4 years in college.
I think so too. I think she's just in a slump.
I
really think she's just in a slump, and I think that the Atlanta defense was really strong and really fast and made it hard for her to create space. I think that's fair. I think she really had a hard time creating space because Atlanta's defense was good.
That Atlanta team's better than I thought.
Yeah. I don't want to sit here and nitpick Caitlin Clark, but I don't want this to be the Caitlin Clark show because honestly, tonight it was the Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Sophie Cunningham show.
Absolutely.
But to sit here and deny that people want to see the exciting brand of basketball Caitlin brings would be...
Love it.
Yeah, people want to see that. I mean, we
have a little better shot selection, but we love the Steph Curry kind of ability that she has.
Well, think about it this way. When she's got that shot in her bag and she's hitting it, plus we have all the other things the team's doing well, they're going to be unstoppable if they can just get it all together on the same nights.
Right now, I love her passing. I mean, I think she's the best attribute she's bringing to the Fever right now is her passing. It's just, I think, it's really good. And even in the half court, and because she can do that, she still even though she's in a slump, she still draws that attention. She's being able to pass so quickly inside and create great shots for her teammates.
One last thing, let's not forget this is the first night or maybe second night they've played all together again. This is the first time that I've been there in a while that it said injury report, nobody. Right. So they need time to figure that out too.
So big national television game on Sunday afternoon against the Wings. What can we expect?
I think it's a matchup everybody wants to see. You're finally going to have a game where Paige and Caitlin are both playing, and I think the Paige versus Caitlin is a much better rivalry than Paige versus Caitlin versus Caitlin versus Angel.
Oh yeah,
I think the Fever are the better team overall. Enrique could go on a streak and go nuts and start popping shots like crazy, So you never know what's going to happen. And Paige can too. I expect the Fever to win, but I don't know that it'll be I don't know that it'll really be like a Caitlin versus Paige show, but we'll see what happens.
I think the Fever will win. I think they're the better team right now. I mean, the Wings, we talk about the consistency with lineups with the Fever, but the Wings have kind of gone through that a little bit too, and I think that's hurt them a little bit off and on, but it should be a fun matchup. It should be a great crowd because there are a lot of Caitlin Clark fans and there are a lot of Paige Becker fans. I mean, Butler sold out for women, sold out for the UConn game last year, and most of the little girls in that crowd were wearing Paige Bucher's jerseys.
Dallas may be short-handed. I'm not real sure.
Yeah, hold on. Dallas Wings injury report. Enrique is probable with a thumb injury. Carrington is out for Sunday's game with a rib injury. Segrist is out for Sunday's game with a knee injury. And Harris is out for the season, of course, with a left knee.
Yeah, so they're short. They got 8 people on the roster right now?
Yeah. So that's what the Fever need. And we always hope the Fever win. Thank you so much, guys, and thanks everyone for listening. Please go like, subscribe, or follow us at YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple, or Amazon, and share with your friends and family. Central Indiana Sports Report is brought to you by DG Media, and I love Susie.